Great. Now we'll have this meditation.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome. So if you'll just settle down in your chairs, lean back, support your back, take a deep breath in and release. And one more breath in, breathing in the morning air and release. And just imagine, like it's been said before, sing as if nobody's listening, dance as if nobody's watching, live as if you are filled with joy. And as we sit here this morning in an open state of mind, opening to the wisdom and the creative thought that is all around us, open your imagination to seeing yourself living full out, doing what it is perhaps you secretly yearn to do, but won't allow that secret yearning to come into blossom for all the reasons we don't. Ignore that. Open that door to what is it that your heart is calling out for? What is it that your soul is calling out for? Just sit in that question and see what comes up. See yourself living into this calling, this passion that perhaps you are neglecting or maybe could do a little more with to fully realize. See yourself living it, expressing it, being in it. Feel what you would feel were you fully expressed. Say yes. Say yes to this passion. Yes to this yearning, this longing. Yes to this maybe already on its way, but could be further along. Say yes. Yes, I'm living it. I'm living into it. I'm expressing it. Feel how that feels, that yes. Coming back with the glow of saying yes to that passion, consider setting an intention to live into that passion. In fact, move beyond consider. Set an intention to move into that passion. And say with me, Ashe, Amen.
Ashe.
And so it is.
So it is. Thank you, Reverend Pamela. So now we're going to have our affirmation. And you don't have to stand, just because if I stand, you'll be seeing my midsection. And I don't think you want to see that. So it still will be a call and response. And let me just find it. Things are not where they're supposed to be. There it is. Okay, so it will be a call and response. And I'll say a line and you'll just repeat the line. Okay? But we're still going to say it with power. We're going to say it with gusto. And we're going to say it with utter belief. So God is the only power in my life.
God.
Yeah, Reverend Pamela, you can stay off mute because that's the only way I know people are finished. Thank you. Okay, let's start again. God is the only power in my life.
God is the only power in my life.
Nothing from without.
Nothing from without.
Can touch the perfect life of God within me.
Can touch the perfect life of God within me.
No past experience has power over me.
No past experience has power over me.
I am a perfect child of God.
I am a perfect child of God.
And nothing that anyone has ever done or said.
And nothing that anyone has ever done or said.
Can interfere with my divine inheritance.
Can interfere with my divine inheritance.
The power of God.
The power of God
is greater than any circumstance in my life.
Is greater than any circumstance in my life.
So I want you to think about those circumstances that you have in your life that you think are just unsurmountable, that they're just so big. And know that there's a power greater than anything that's happening in your life. And you're going to say to it, the power of God is greater than any circumstance in my life.
The power of God is greater than any circumstance in my life.
The strength of God is mine to use.
The strength of God is mine to use.
Turning away from all feeling of inadequacy.
Turning away from all feeling of inadequacy.
I discovered that all that I need is within me now.
I discover that all that I need is within me now.
As I forgive the past.
As I forgive the past.
And I do forgive the past.
And I do forgive the past.
I find that I have nothing to be sorry for.
I find that I have nothing to be sorry for.
And nothing to run away from.
And nothing to run away from.
Casting off the old me.
Casting off the old me.
I discover my true self.
I discover my true self.
And so for these I statements that are going to follow, let's point to ourselves because it's about us. I take dominion in my life.
I take dominion in my life.
Old habits have no power over me.
Old habits have no power over me.
Conditions have no power over me.
Conditions have no power over me.
Personalities have no power over me.
Personalities have no power over me.
Yeah, I think we need to say that one more time. Personalities have no power over me.
Personalities have no power over me.
What they're doing in the White House has no power over me.
What they're doing in the White House has no power.
Woo! Okay. I don't know about you. That was a tough one. I take dominion.
I take dominion.
I am whole.
I am whole.
I am free.
I am free.
I am complete.
I am complete.
Now and forevermore.
Now and forevermore.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And we're going to seal it by saying, yes.
Yes.
Woo! Yes. Okay, so now we'll have our reading.
So our reading today comes from me and Chat GPT. So each of us carries something sacred within, a light, a calling, a deep potential waiting to be realized. It's easy to forget this in the noise of everyday life. We get caught up in expectations, routines, or fears that keep us playing small. But within every one of us is a quiet knowing, a sense that we are here for more. Living into our full potential is not about striving for perfection. It's about living and listening closely to that inner voice that urges us to grow, to evolve, and to live with intention, and to be open to the potential possibilities of the universe. It's about honoring the gifts we've been given and using them in ways that bring meaning, connection, and joy to ourselves and others, perhaps even helping to heal the world around us. This path isn't always easy. It asks us to let go of the familiar and the comfortable. It asks us to stretch beyond our comfort zone and to trust the unfolding of something bigger, something beyond what we have been able to see, something we have perhaps visualized, but not actualized. Still, when we live from that deeper place, when we align ourselves with our true values and deepest truths, we begin to experience a sense of peace, of purpose, and clarity. So ask yourself, what part of me is waiting to be expressed? What part of me is aching to be expressed? Where am I being called now to show up more fully? The world needs our wholeness. And the more we live into who we truly are, the more light we experience in our own lives and bring into the lives of others. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to go into our before talk song, and hopefully this happens without a hitch. Let's see.
Hear the music.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Okay. All right. Okay, let's. Were you able to hear the first song?
Not really.
Okay, so Reverend Pamela, you guys help me with. Uh, you know what?
Stephanie, I've never been able to make it work either.
It worked the other day when I did it with Reverend Michael. So hold on just a second, you guys. Sorry about that. And thank you, Phyllis, for telling me that it wasn't, you weren't hearing it. You were just seeing video. Reverend Pamela, you were able to hear it?
I heard the first song and then I saw video.
Okay. 1 second. Okay. I was trying to call Reverend Michael. Well, I'm gonna try one other thing, and if it doesn't work, we'll just go straight into the talk. Da, 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 da. Does anyone else have an idea on how? 'Cause I know he shared it with me, but okay. I can't find it, so we guess we won't be having music. Oh, let me see something. Where are the settings? Nope, can't find it, so I don't want to waste any more time. Okay. So basically, she's talking about living out loud. I'll just give it to you guys in a nutshell about what's happening. So we'll just go into the talk. So there was a quote that I came across called by Emily Zola, and it says, "If you ask me what I came to do in this world, I will tell you I came to live out loud." So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about living out loud. Reverend Pamela gave us a great introduction into, the benefits of living out loud, of being present, of being who we are. And so we're just going to go deeper into it. And so as we do this, you might want to have some paper and pen, if you don't already, to jot down a few things. Because as always, there will be some life work afterwards if you choose to do it. And there's a lot of content in here, so you might find something that just really resonates for you. So what does it mean to live out loud? Well, it means embracing your true self. It means expressing yourself authentically and boldly without fear of judgment or social pressure. It means living intentionally. It means pursuing your passions. It means celebrating your individuality. Now, why do we even care about living out loud? Why is it important? What are the benefits? Well, some of the benefits, these aren't all. I'm sure you can think of more, but it reduces stress and anxiety. It increases self-esteem and confidence. It leads to greater happiness and life satisfaction. Who doesn't want to be happier? Who doesn't want to be more satisfied? Another benefit is that you have deeper and more meaningful relationships. There's that authenticity that you're coming with, and so your relationships are deeper. How about attracting the right people and opportunities into your life? It enhances problem solving. It improves focus and attention. It allows for greater resilience, increased self-awareness, improved physical health, and you're living a life with purpose and meaning. Those are some of the benefits of living out loud. So I'm going to break it down to bite-sized pieces as we move through this journey of living out loud so that you have some delectable morsels to work with, to cultivate, to grow. Now, there's 16 of them, and they will go fast because they're morsels, they're bite-sized, they're tiny, but major, major, major impact. So our first is being unapologetically yourself. Accepting and embracing your unique personalities, your quirks and preferences, rather than trying to fit into a predetermined mode. A predetermined mode mold, mode, whichever one works for you, something that's predetermined. One of the things, when we start school, teachers have a large classroom, and so they typically will try to get everyone to be the same, to act the same. And we have some learning that comes with that we need to be like other people. But no, be yourself. Sometimes we get to an age that we don't even know who we really are because in different situations, we're different people. Be unapologetically yourself. Never apologize for who you are. Now, that doesn't give you the license to just be an awful person. It means those things within you that you love, that are wonderful, for you to share those, to be yourself. The second little juicy nugget is to express yourself authentically. There's that thing about being authentic. It's about speaking your mind, sharing your thoughts and feelings, living with alignment with your values, even if it means being vulnerable. Now, that means that you got to know what your values are. Do you know what your values are? If you don't, this is the time for you to now figure out what are your values, and then live with them, be with them, and allow yourself to be vulnerable. I know it doesn't always feel good to be vulnerable, but sometimes you have to, because you might be in a group and you're the only one with this opinion. But your opinion matters. Another part of expressing your authenticity is to make your decisions. Make your own. Don't make somebody else's. Don't pull someone else's decision because, they think it's that way. I respect them. So I'm going to now make that my decision. Only make that decision if you agree with that. Another part of expressing yourself authentically is to know your own value. We all have value. We all have worth. Practice being with that. You have nothing to prove. You have gifts, and don't stop stop dismissing them. Just stop it. Share your gifts. The other piece of expressing yourself authentically is to stop idolizing anyone else. That means putting people on pedestals, thinking they're better than you, thinking they have something more to offer. They just might have something different to offer. But that doesn't displace you. No idols. Oops. Our third little tidbit is to live with intention. Reverend Pamela talked about that in her reading. Be purposeful in your actions and decisions. Make choices that align with your goals and your values. Do you have goals? Do you know what they are? If you don't have any, if you don't know what they are, create some. Review them. Know what they are and live with that, because when you're not living with an intention, you're kind of willy-nilly just going wherever the wind takes you. And that is not living out loud. Remember, we're talking about living out loud. The fourth one is living your life on purpose. So part of that means you got to have a purpose. And you're not living in default. Be proactive. Make conscious and deliberate choices. That's what happens when you live a life on purpose. You're making conscious. You're conscious about what it is you're doing and where it is you're going. Again, with living your life on purpose is when you don't choose, so you don't make your own choices, circumstances choose you, and you are never leading you, and they're leading you, and you're following them. Why do you want someone else to lead you? You don't want to live in a default mode. Our fifth is to own your own power. We're all powerful beings. And I can attest to this. I'm not always living in my power. I'm one of those people, I realize this, that at work, I'm a different person than like when I'm at church. And not that you're not supposed to be, but I'm a lot more confident in other situations than at work at times. In living from your own power, you find that the answers are within you. We talk about that in this philosophy. The answers are within us. Own what you know and stand in it. Stand in it. Stand in your power. Number 6, stop being afraid to be seen. Be visible and present in your life. Allow people to see your beauty, your greatness. Share your experiences and passions with others because that can help them grow. It can help them expand. It also makes you feel good because you know, I am all that. When you're not afraid to be seen, you're not shrinking away from social situations or opportunities. That means when you're invited to go someplace, you go. If that's something you want to do, but it's not because, oh my gosh, there are going to be a whole lot of people that I don't know. I happen to be an introvert. You may not notice that at church because I seem to have, my extrovert comes out, but I tend to not want to be in these large groups where I don't know people. And then I have to mingle. Ugh. I want to be with my same group of people because that's where I find the comfort. But living out loud, that's not living out loud. That's living small. And you can't live out loud, be large, and act small. The next one, number 7, is to overcome your fears. Ooh. We all have them. Even if you don't think you have them, we have fears. And it's okay. It's okay to have fears, but we got to try to overcome them. There was a book that was written some time ago, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. So even if you have fears, and we do, just keep on going. Keep on going while you're working on overcoming them. So part of getting out of and overcoming your fears is to get out of your comfort zone. Do some new things. Do something that creates butterflies in your stomach. You know those butterflies you get when you meet that person that, oh my God, that's the one. You know that feeling? Have you ever had that feeling? Shake your head if you've had that feeling, those butterflies. So you know what I'm talking about? It's that feeling that you know you're alive. Oh my goodness. And when you have those butterflies, you get to grow into something new. Because that's what a butterfly, it started out as a caterpillar, all fuzzy and yucky. I'm not a fan of caterpillars. Love a butterfly, though. But it just blossomed into something wonderful. Every fear you overcome is freedom gained. If you don't know how to overcome your fears, Do the thing that you're afraid of. Cross it off the list. Make it a game. Who doesn't like a good game? I love games. Pretty soon you'll be invincible because you will have crossed all those fears off of your list. Number 8, finding joy in the everyday. There are things that we do that don't necessarily bring joy, like washing dishes. Not a fan, but it's finding the joy in that, finding the joy in those small things, appreciating those small things, because it's the small things that really make a difference. We sometimes look at the big things and like, oh, the big things are the things. No, it's those small things, because we have a bunch of small things. And when you're appreciating the small things, what happens is you get more to appreciate. More and more is drawn to you. How about finding beauty in ordinary moments? Have you ever been on the freeway and you're just kind of driving along, and then all of a sudden you see a beautiful patch of flowers in all these beautiful colors? It's one of my things, and it just kind of snaps me into, oh my goodness, this is gorgeous. And I'm now conscious of my surroundings instead of being in, oh gosh, when am I going to get out of this traffic? Celebrate life's simple pleasures, because when you do that, you're going to have much to celebrate. Number 9, we're halfway there. Woo, woo, woo. Being bold and courageous. Take risk. You can't live out loud if you're doing the same old thing the same old way. Step outside of your comfort zone. Pursue your dreams with confidence. So you go boldly into your dreams. The other week, Reverend Vaughn talked about that Superman pose. You remember that pose where you got your hands on your hips and your chest is out? That's standing in confidence. Even if you're in fear, your body will pay attention. When you do the Superman pose, your body's going to pay attention. You're going to feel different. Pursue those dreams. Find out what your dreams are and go after them. Number 10, be open and honest. Communicate your needs and desires. You have needs, you have desires. Sometimes we just allow other people's needs and desires to overshadow ours. And then we're sitting in the back going, oh, feeling unappreciated, feeling less than. Communicate your needs and desires. People aren't mind readers. Maybe some are, but not everybody is. They don't know what you need. They don't know what you want. Let them know. Remember, we're talking about living out loud. How about admitting your mistakes? That's part of being open and honest. Admit when you're wrong. Sometimes people just can't admit that they're wrong. They have to be right in every situation. It's okay to admit that you're wrong. Part of living out loud is being who you are. And when you make a mistake, it's okay. We learn from that, and then we go on. Part of being open and honest is being transparent in your relationships. Folks don't know what they don't know. If you don't let them know and be who you truly are, they're not going to know what it is, who you are, what to give you, what you want. I was watching a Hallmark movie, and we know they have a formula. Those romantic comedies definitely have a formula. And this particular one, the woman liked the man liked the woman, but neither one of them's letting each other know that they like each other. So they spend a whole lot of time just wasted because they're not letting each other know about their needs and desires. They're not being transparent. They were just being good friends, but they wanted so much more. Number 11, honor your word. We talk about this. In the book, The Four Agreements, what does he say? He says, be impeccable with your word. In honoring your word, it means do what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to be there at 7 o'clock, be there at 7 o'clock. Not 7:10, not 8 o'clock. Be there when you say you're going to be there. Do what you say you're going to do. By honoring your word, you honor yourself. And it doesn't feel good when you don't honor your word. Because in the back of your mind, you're like, yeah, I should have done that, but I didn't. Make honoring your word a habit. So it just happens. It's just what you do naturally. Value your integrity and keep your promises. You know, when you're little, remember you said, you promise you're going to do that? And you expected people to keep their promises. Well, people are still expecting you to keep your promises. So please honor them. Number 12, learn to say no. Now, I know we talked about, yes, we want to be in the yes. Yes, we do want to be in the yes. But we want to say no to those things that aren't serving us. What are those things in your life that you've been saying yes to that aren't serving you? You need to start saying no. Now, here's a good barometer to measure if there's a no involved. If someone comes to you and says, oh, you want to do blah, 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 and you're not in the feeling of, oh, yeah, yippee, I get to do this, I can't wait. It's probably a no. If you have to talk yourself into it, it's probably a no. Once you're comfortable saying no, everything becomes a matter of choice. You now can choose. I'm going to do it, and I'm doing it from a conscious place, or I'm not doing it from a conscious place. You're not just doing it because you're being a people pleaser. Living a life of choice is living a life of freedom. Number 13. Ooh, what is number 13? It is to take 100% responsibility for your life. Not 99, not 90, not 60, not 40, 100%. This is your life. It's your responsibility. Spirit gave it to you to grow and to nurture it and to love it. It's all on you. If things aren't working in your favor, take note and ask yourself, what part do you play in this? There was this guy that liked me, and this man had been married 3 times and had like 8 kids, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's too much for me. That was definitely a no. But one of the things, his 3rd marriage only lasted 6 months, and I asked him, what was your part in this whole situation of it only lasting 6 months? And he's like, I had no responsibility. It was none of my responsibility. And it's like, okay, yes. So we need to take 100% responsibility for our lives. Being a victim, because when you're not taking 100% responsibility, you're being a victim. It's boring. It's passé. Don't do it. It doesn't taste good. There is no power in blaming other people. Some folks think, oh, if I blame somebody else, it'll make me feel better. Flip Wilson had a character, for those of you who remember Flip Wilson, had a character named Geraldine, and she would always say, the devil made me do it. Well, when you take responsibility for your life, you can't blame it on the devil or anybody else. You're taking responsibility. And part of taking responsibility is don't wait for other people to change. When you change, your world will follow suit because you're different. Number 14, ooh boy, we're getting down to the count. Give yourself permission. Permission for what? For everything. Permission to make mistakes, permission to shine, permission to look beautiful, permission to accept praise, permission to have a bad day, permission to get angry, permission to cry, to laugh, to scream, permission to take the day off, permission to take a nap, to go to sleep early, permission to get a massage, permission to do nothing, permission to succeed, permission for everything. Life is about being here now in your full range of emotions, mood swings, wins, and losses. Remember, we're talking about living out loud. Number 15. Stop waiting. What are you waiting for? Life's happening right now. Do those things you want to do. You might have a bucket list. Do it. If you don't have a bucket list, do those things that you just want to do. Don't wait for the perfect timing, for the right career, for the right relationship, for when you get this certain amount of money. The time is now. Make the best of what you have right now and be creative with it, because you can make that into something else, something so wonderful, something so good that you just want to live out loud. Do not put your life on pause. Sometimes we put ourselves in situation and we just stop living. We hibernate. We get depressed. Don't do it. Feel it and then move on. You got the power, because remember, that was one of the numbers that we've already talked about. Live in your power. Live in that possibility that what you are waiting for is already here. We talk about that in this philosophy. It's already done. It's already here. You just got to take it. Live your best life today, not tomorrow. Not next week, not next year, not when you get in the right relationship, and you can ... that. Do it now. Drum roll, please. We are now at number 16. Number 16 is do not punish yourself for past actions. Do not punish yourself. Your past behavior was what you've done, but it's not who you are. You were doing the best you could at your level of understanding. You're a different person now. Just because it happened when doesn't mean it's going to happen now. That's not how the universe works. What we talk about is what you focus on grows, right? So let's focus on the great things that we're going to do and not what we did in the past or what we shoulda, coulda, woulda done. You are still unfolding. Mistakes, errors in judgment, and failures are just part of the character building, and it allows you to see what you can do to change, to go into the direction that you want to be. They make us human and compassionate and wise. To beat yourself up, to berate yourself for acquiring these qualities is wrong, and just stop doing it. As Bob Newhart said, just stop it. A new beginning starts for you today. So now we've gone through our 16 yummy, yummy, yummy morsels, our appetizers, our main event. So when we think about living out loud is about claiming your space in the world and making the most of your time here on your own terms. I'd like to close with the last line of this, of a quote that Iyanla Van Zant had done about living out loud. And what she says is, most important, in order to live out loud, you must love yourself enough to tell yourself and everyone else the absolute truth about you. When you can do that, you can live out loud and being very proud about what the world will hear. And so it is. So, life work. If you jotted down a few things, if something resonated for you, I'd like you to massage it. I'd like you to grow it. I'd like you to be it. I'd like you to work on living out loud. And one of the ways that you can do this, Annette, who's on the call, reminded me of this week, is to do some mirror work around it. And what is mirror work? Mirror work is getting in front of the mirror and declaring the truth of who you are or what it is you desire to yourself. What it does when you look in the mirror, and it's really looking at yourself, and it's not about, oh my God, where'd that pimple come from? And oh, that wrinkle wasn't there yesterday. It's not about that. It's about looking at yourself and allowing yourself to have these words just penetrate and be absorbed in your body. And you can do it however long you choose to do it. So figure out what your values are, figure out what your goals are, figure out where on this list you might have some work that you want to evolve. And look at yourself in the mirror and just love yourself up. So now we're going to have Reverend Pamela close out the talk with a prayer.
So I'm just thankful today for this wonderful message. And all of us who chose to be present, to take it in, and to move it through our lives and out into the world. And so I'm knowing wherever it is that we can live out loud, that we are giving ourselves permission to do so. That we are giving ourselves permission to step out there and maybe misstep and maybe not step as high as we'd like to, but at least we're stepping.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm declaring for all of us, embracing the passion that's within us, the passion that we've looked a little bit, given a side eye to, saying, I can't do that. I'm afraid to do that. That's not going to work. How in the heck am I going to do that? I am thankful that we're releasing all of those questions and concerns and fears that are holding us back and allowing ourselves to just take a chance, open a door to the unknown, open a door to the possibilities, open a door to change, open a door to ourselves, and let us run out there free and make it merry like Christmas, as Maya Angelou once said. And so I'm knowing that this talk today has something out of those 16 points that resonates with all of us in its own way. And that we are taking whatever it is that resonates with us and putting it into action, setting it as an intention and making it so.
Mm.
So I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful that we're willing to step out of our comfort zones, step into a field of infinite possibility with our arms open, ready to embrace the good that comes to us. I am thankful for that and so much more. And so I say, Ashe,
Ashe.
Amen,
Amen.
and so it is.
And so it is, yes. And so now we have our offertory prayer, which we will say one time, and it's on the screen if you don't know it. And you can contribute to Northern Lights via if you go on the website, there's a way to contribute there. And I think we have Venmo, but I'm not sure. Don't quote. Oh, yes. Phyllis is shaking her head. Yes, we do. So there are a variety of ways that one can donate to the center to keep the lights on. So let's say our offertory prayer and say this again with gusto. Feel the words. Here we go. I am rich. I am prosperous. Money flows to me freely and copiously from many channels. Spirit is the source of all of my good. I give abundantly as I've already received, and so it is. Yes. And so I just want to stand in this place of knowing that right where we are, Spirit is. Right where we are, all is well, all is divine, all is perfect. And so I'm giving thanks for today. Thanks for each and every person that's here, all the people that wanted to be here but were unable to, and those that have yet to come. Knowing that we are all living our best lives. We're living our lives and playing full out on God's playground. We are living out loud. And so as we go through this day, this week, this year, this lifetime, we live with the knowingness that Spirit's got our back, and it's good, and it's very good, and life is sweet and fun and joyful, and we allow it to be, and so it is. So I am going to stop the recording.